Hey there, guys. Happy Wednesday. Mario Delgadillo here. Welcome to our sales mastery training. And today we're going to talk about a very important component of our phone call, guys. And have you ever heard anybody say that you only get one chance to make a first impression? Have you guys ever heard that before? Okay. Same rule applies over the phone. And the introduction and the way we start a call literally sets the tone for everything, right? And so today we want to spend a little bit of time just talking about a couple of key points to keep in mind every time you call a lead. Now, mind you, we're going to be working from a place of lead flow, right? So we're going to be talking about what it sounds like when we call a lead, okay? Now, this kind of varies a little bit when you are calling, a warm market type of person. But when you're calling leads, this is kind of the route that we want to go. So if you're taking notes, there's 5 things that we want to cover. Okay, so number 1 is greet the person. Start the conversation with utmost respect and professionalism. Okay. Number 2, introduce yourself and your business. Okay, so introduce and clear the purpose for which you are calling. Okay. Number 3 is ask the right questions. Okay. So focus on sales questions that will qualify the prospect. Okay. And number 4 is give good first answers. So answer all of the questions in the best possible way. And number 5 is thank them for their time. You must always be grateful when someone agrees to talk to you about your product. Okay. So greet the person, introduce yourself and your business, ask the right first questions, give good first answers, and thank them for their time. Okay, so now, real quick, what I want to do is I am going to share the screen because I pulled up 2 of probably the most predominantly used scripts that we're going to use here with the agency. Okay. First one is the IBC script, and the second one is the SGRA script. SGRA stands for Secure and Guaranteed Retirement Accounts. So I'll start there, and then we'll also get into the IBC script as you guys should be using. I know a lot of you guys are working with Maritza, and even me, like I don't really even follow this or even pull this up anymore because I have it all here. It's become second nature. So first things first is if you're working with myself and or Maritza in either the SGRA category or the IBC category, fight the urge to try to do what we do when it comes to the script because it's kind of already innately built into us. You should really start yourself off using the script and sticking as close to it as possible. It's funny, I know this for a fact because I've been with her. When people ask Priscilla, like, oh my God, how did you do it? She was like, dude, I literally did everything Mario told me to do. I just read the script. I stuck to the script over and over and over again. Okay. So let's start there. Keeping in mind the 5 points that we covered, right, earlier. Okay. So let me give that quick boom. 5 points. Greet the person, introduce yourself, ask the right first questions, giving good first answers, and thank them for their time. So if we come here, okay, first things first, before we ever make a call, okay, does anybody want to share with me what their space looks like? What do they have out before they ever pick up the phone to call somebody? Anybody want to share?
I'll share. I have my laptop out with Maritza's schedule in front of me. I've got the lead info out and my FNA form out.
Okay. Okay. So you've got your FNA form, you've got lead info. Now the lead info that you're getting, is it like a soft copy, like on your computer laptop, or do you actually print them out?
It's on my phone. I mean, it's just name and number and email. It's not.
Okay. So the ones that they send you via email you're talking about. Okay, cool. Now, does IBC give you guys a CRM to work from?
Yeah, we use Go High Level.
Okay, all right, good. All right, anybody else?
For me, depending typically just depending on where I'm at, whether it's me using my phone or the laptop, I'll have the script pulled up and then I just have my notebook and a pen and that's it. I'm going
Okay.
through the script. I'm writing the notes down. And for first call, I don't do anything else. And then I'll pull up my calendar to schedule
At the end of the call. Okay, good. Let's do one other. Anybody else have anything different?
I use a tool that Marisa shared with me, which is, what is that, freepeoplesearch.com, and then a notepad to write everything down in. But everything else that they're using, I'm using. I use 2 screens, so that way it's easier for me to work and have the scripts and toggle between without any
Yeah.
disruption. But pretty much everything that they're using, but notepad where I write everything down, and then free people search.
What do you use Free People Search for?
Just the leads that are coming in, just to look up the phone number and see kind of more or less where they're calling from. Just kind of just see who's connected with them, and that's pretty much it, just to get a better feel of where they're at, because the time zones are different.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Mario, to answer your question, the reason we use that, or the reason I suggest that the agents use that with the IBC leads, is because those leads only come with a name, a phone number, and an email address. So we don't know what states they are with. So for time zone reasons, I always tell the agents, make sure you research your lead thoroughly before you even pick up the phone to call them. So my goal is for them to know what they do. If there's an additional or another phone number that they can utilize to call in the event that they can't get a hold of the lead, another email address,
Right.
and state that they're in. That way we know what time zone they're in, and that way we don't get confused when we're scheduling or booking the appointment.
Good. Good. Yeah, I use something similar. It's called allareacodes.com. It's right here. You can see. Typically, you just type in their area code and it'll tell you where it's from. So yeah, just that's good. Not a bad thing at all. Especially with the IBCs, if you're just getting the name, number, and an email, you don't have an address. Really important, kind of get some familiarity on where they're from. So good. All right. So yeah, Eddie, I used 2 screens forever. For a long time, I would have my laptop open, right, and I'd have the CRM open with their lead information, and then I'd have my like a tabletop or desktop screen there, and I'd pull up my script, and then I'd have the calendar right next to it, so I could toggle right and back and forth when I was done, and I'd give them a call. Okay, so first things first, when I call, okay, I always make it a point. So it's ring, and it's like, Eddie, right? I don't say, hi, can I please speak to Eddie? I don't do that, because just for me, if somebody were to call me like Mario, I'm even if I'm like on defense mechanism, I'm gonna be like, yeah, or who's this, or yes, right? As opposed to, hi, can I please speak to Mario Delgadillo? That's a sales call, right? So right off the gate, I'm either gonna say, oh, yeah, you have the wrong number, right? Or I'm just not gonna be as open. So hey there, my name is Mario Delgadillo. I'm following up with you because it looks like you went online and requested some information about secure and guaranteed retirement options. And I literally do this. I don't know why, I've always felt that the tonality, the like the intention, the very unique type of points that I'm trying to accentuate, I feel like I have to express them. I always have, even when I'm on the phone with somebody. So it's so funny because I catch myself doing this. I'll say, hey, I'm following up because it looks like you went online and requested some information on secure and guaranteed retirement options. Filled out a little questionnaire online. I'm literally doing this. I don't know why, because I feel like almost like I'm having a face-to-face conversation with them, right? Do you remember that? Okay. So if you go back to what we talked about, right? So introduce yourself, check, greet the person, check, ask the right first question, but in an attempt to qualify them. Okay. That's what this is. Okay. You filled out a little quiz. Do you remember that? That's what the qualifying comes from. And again, when you are dealing with good leads and good clients, they're going to say yes, right? Have any of you guys ever called crappy leads? And it's like, it's a victory just to get them to admit that they even requested information, right? But when you are calling good leads and they're intentional, they go, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I remember that. Okay. Now, if we go to the IBC side, you know, uh, Nicole, yeah. Hey, my name is Mario. I'm reaching out to you today because you expressed some interest in becoming your own bank. You filled out a little survey online. Do you remember that? Okay. Guys, they're very much the same. Okay. So what you're doing is you're qualifying it right from the beginning. Okay. You want to make sure right from the beginning, do they know who you are and why you're calling? Right. And then you're qualifying them by making them admit that, yeah, I filled out a survey and I wanted you to call me back. Okay. So now, as we continue to go, so yeah, wait for my response. So, okay, awesome. Well, like I said, my name is Mario. I'm actually out of Dallas. And the purpose of my call today is to get a better understanding on what you're trying to accomplish so that I can get you the appropriate information. Obviously, allow you to ask any questions that you might have as well. Fair enough? Okay. So the idea is we're still staying in line with the fact that they requested info and that's what I'm here to give them. Okay. But I have to get a better understanding on what they're trying to accomplish. Right. Now, at this time, I have had, one or two people along the course of my journey say, well, what type of information do you need to know? Right. They're already in defense mechanism. Right. And it's real simple. So there's over 700 different indexes to choose from that people use to grow their money. And I have to learn a little bit about your particular situation, your risk tolerances, when are you looking to retire, different things like that, just so that I can prescribe the appropriate information, if that makes sense. Oh, okay, right. But you've got to be ready and able to answer that type of question. So now if we come over to IBC, right? So the purpose of my call today is to gain a better understanding on what you're trying to accomplish so that I can get you the appropriate information on becoming your own bank. Obviously, give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have as well. Fair enough? Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to hit a pause button. For those of you guys that have called SGRA or IBC, is there anything that you'd like to add at this point? Anything that you'd like to throw a question out at this point? Because guys, I'm telling you right now, the introduction, in my opinion, is one of the most important components of your entire interaction. In the first 5 to 10 seconds, they're deciding on whether or not they're going to take you serious and really give you an opportunity to help them or not. Okay. Have you guys ever met somebody in person? And I'm not talking about how it panned out later. I'm talking about within the first 5 to 10 minutes, you're like, I don't like this person. or in the first 5 to 10 seconds, you're like, I like this guy. He's cool. Have you ever had that happen? Okay. I think most of us have. And the same thing applies, but it's so much more important that we get sharp with it, vocally, because they can't see us. See, I might not be, let's say we meet in person, right? And I'm not the greatest speaker, but you can see in my face that I'm very happy to meet you. It's like, hi, Mario, this is so-and-so, this is Mario. And I'm like, nice to meet you, right? And all he says, nice to meet you. And I'm listening and I'm intent. They can see that I'm into this, even if I don't say a lot. But if they can't see you and you're not doing a proper job with the actual verbiage and your pitch and your tone and your enunciation, right, your tonality, then you've lost. Okay, so let's hit a quick timeout. Anybody that's called on SGRAs or IBCs using the script, anything you want to add that you do well, anything that you've learned. You remember, we're here as a think tank. Even Maritza, feel free to jump in.
I guess I'll add
Going
real
once.
quick. Because I remember when I was doing the calls, like literally the first time I would like, I would probably like stutter or probably not. I would feel nervous, and then now when I'm getting like more comfortable with the calls, like it's just we just have to be more comfortable, make more calls. I just keep doing it until it feels comfortable, I guess.
Right. You know, the reason that's so important, and thank you, Hernan, for sharing, because you know, want to talk about what's uncomfortable is when you ask a question to a group of sales agents and nobody says anything. That's pretty uncomfortable. So thank you for for bailing me out there. Here's the way I equate, okay, confidence. Let's say you, God forbid, one of us, you know, develop a heart problem, and we need to have a pretty serious heart operation. And they say, hey, come in, we're going to do all the pre-op operation stuff, part of which is a, you know, an interview and a talk with your doctor about what's going to happen. And you meet the doctor, and he walks in, and he's, you know, super young. But not only is he super young, but he's not very well spoken. He seems very nervous. He seems like fumbling around. Are you going to be confident going under the knife, opening up your chest to somebody like that? Oh, I assure you, sir, I'm fully credentialed. I know you're credentialed. I know you graduated, but you don't seem very confident, which scares the hell out of me. Or, right, you have a man or a woman that comes in and they're in their late 50s, right? They have extreme confidence, right? They look you in the eye. They know exactly what they're saying. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're leading you down a path, and you just feel comfortable because, like, man, I just have confidence in this person. It's because of the way they carry themselves and the confidence that they absolutely have. And see, yeah, Doogie Howser isn't getting hold of me. You know, and so that's the idea, guys. You are the doctor of their retirement plan. And so you have to have confidence. And it all starts with the first impression. Okay. So let's keep rolling here. So we talked about the purpose. Now, I love this part because what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm trying to help them to understand why I'm the guy for the job. Okay. I don't know if you guys have ever had this. I can guarantee you Priscilla has. But in the SGRA world, I'll get a call and the guy's like, oh, yeah, I had 2 other people call me yesterday. Yeah, I'm working with another guy. He's getting me some numbers too. And it's not because the lead vendor is selling the lead to multiple people. It's because when somebody's sitting down to request information, they're going to multiple sites. So they're going to multiple funnels, if you will, and requesting information. So from the very beginning, I want them to know why I'm different, right? So before we get started, Hernan, let me quickly share with you about what I do for my clients. Number 1 is my goal is to help eliminate fees, okay? Number 2 is to mitigate and eliminate risk, which is pretty important in light of everything that's been happening right now. In fact, I've been using this verbiage for the last 48 hours, which is absolutely true. My goal number 2 is to mitigate and eliminate risk, especially in light of what's been going on right now. And I've been ate to faint every single day because so many people are concerned with losing their retirement. Number 3, okay, and that's just something I'm throwing in, letting them know that everybody's afraid to lose their retirement right now. Number 3 is to create a plan so that your money outlives you. And number 4 is to preserve principle. So whatever you've built up over the course of your career, we want to protect that. So now, Hernan, I'm going to toss the ball over to you for a second. Tell me, what's got you looking into different options to begin with? Okay. So right out of the gate, I'm letting them know why I am able to differentiate myself, why they should be working with me. Eddie says, I have a question. When we introduce ourselves and they ask, who are we with and what product it is, how do we say that? Okay. So I say I'm with myself. Okay. You could say I'm an independent broker agent here in the state of Texas. Okay. I represent over 50 A-rated financial institutions. Okay. You've probably heard of companies like AIG, Fidelity and Guaranteed, John Hancock, things of that nature. And what I do, okay, is help find appropriate strategies for people to be able to take care and protect their retirement, not just now, but to the end of life. But that's if they answer a direct question. But as we continue to go through, Eddie, I'm gonna offer up that answer without them even asking. Okay, because again, it's part of me telling them why I'm different. Okay, so I say to them, hey, let me toss the ball back to you. What's got you looking at the different options to begin with? Okay, now if we come back here, same thing. Now, if I may, before we get too far, I'd love to share with you how I help my clients. Okay, so I want to show you how to grow your money tax-free. I'm going to show you how to protect your money from market downturns with a guarantee. I'm going to show you how you can use that money immediately and repurpose it for things like paying debt, investing, starting a business, paying college, etc. And finally, this will all be done at the same time you're building an asset that will grow with dividends guaranteed. Does that sound okay? Yeah, awesome. So at this time, let me toss the ball over to you for a second and ask you, what's got you looking into becoming your own bank anyways, right? Same thing, guys. So now the client answers. Now, so this one here, Eddie, is it's kind of the one that's going to answer the question. So they say, well, so what's got you looking into different options? Most people are saying, man, I'm supposed to be retiring in about a year and a half. And dude, this market's scaring the hell out of me. I'm already down like $20,000 and it's just, I'm really worried. So yeah, I just want to find out what's the right thing. So here's what I typically say. Okay. So now what's really cool about working with me, Eddie, is that I'm an independent broker here in the state of Texas. And that means that I am not captive to any one particular company. That means I have no quotas. So I do not look out for the best interest of a company. I look out for the best interest of my clients. I mean, if I work for Fidelity, I'm going to tell you Fidelity is the best thing around, right? Because I have to. So it kind of answers that question. Who do I work with? I work for you. I'm an independent broker agent. And I've even had people say, well, I'm with Fidelity. Is Fidelity the best thing for me? I don't know. But I'm also not employed with Fidelity. So I don't have to tell you that Fidelity is the best just to keep my job. Get me? And they're like, oh, okay. In fact, I always say that that's the client's competitive advantage. Their competitive advantage is they're working with me. I could give a damn what company we go to because I can go to them all. I'm going to go and do what's right by you. Whereas your current person is looking out for their paycheck and their job because they have to. You don't necessarily have to get into that far of the weeds, but that's the idea and the premise behind it. Does that make sense, brother? Okay, cool. So we'll come here. So, okay, great. The next step is for us to find out if you're even a candidate for this strategy. So I'm going to ask you a few generic questions about your finances and your health. Again, this is all generic, so no sensitive information will be needed at this time. And then you walk through the financial needs assessment form. Okay, that's as far as we're going to get today, guys. But I wanted to make sure that we're on the same page here. So the way I serve it up here is I said, so what I've learned, actually, I haven't said this in a while. This is always really good. In light of what's going on in the market, this is probably a good statement to start using again. So Eddie, so what I've learned in many years in helping clients is that most people entering into retirement are just looking for safety. Safety and income, safety and growth, and safety and legacy. Okay, so this is what I specialize in and what I deliver. So I'd love to introduce you to my process. Okay, first, this phone call, all I'm really going to try to do is learn a little bit more about you to create a generic retirement profile. Essentially, who are you? What do you do? And what does your current retirement plan look like? And what are your goals? Once I have this generic profile created, by the way, once again, I don't need any sensitive data from you, account numbers or anything like that. Once I have that, I can go out and do my job. That's where I'm going to go and take this information and shop on your behalf because I have access to over 40 different A-rated financial institutions and programs to help my clients. So what I'm going to do is look for a few strategies that are unique to your goals and come back to you with some ideas. usually within 48 hours. At that point, okay, you'll have enough information to make an educated decision on whether or not securing guaranteed retirement accounts are for you or not. Fair enough? Sure. Okay, so let's get started here, right? And then it says, okay, so I'm going to go through a generic list of questions to get a good grasp on where you're at in your retirement. Go through the FA intake form or the financial independent financial needs assessment form. So that's really all that I wanted to cover with you guys today. But if we go here, listen, we're asking the good qualifying questions, right? Giving good first questions as well, right? Why do you want? What are you looking for? Okay. Then I'm obviously thanking them for their time. And I think that without really having to say, by the way, thank you so much for your time today, sir. My entire tone, the way I'm conducting myself, the way I'm carrying myself proves to them without even saying anything that I value their time, right? And that I'm thankful that they picked up the phone. Word or two, though, in line with that, at the end of my financial needs assessment call, after I've scheduled it and told them, hey, I'm going to send you an email. It's going to have the Zoom link. It's going to have my information. And I'll probably send you some reminders the day of and the day before. But, sir, thank you so much for taking some time out today to discuss this, at least this first step. I hope you have a blessed weekend. And I look forward to serving you on Tuesday. And I also look forward to earning your business. I've been saying that, and a lot of people, I feel like really, especially the type of client we have, they really value that type of service. Because would you agree that, you know, somebody who's a boomer, 50s and 60s, even 40s, like myself, because I guess I'm an old person now, when you go places, who are we running into? Like young 19, 20 people? I'm going to tell you right now, and my wife laughs because there's no reason for it other than I guess I'm just a grumpy old man. It drives me crazy when I go to a store, retail store, or restaurant, and this young generation says, hey, boss, how's it going, boss? Can I get you? Oh, come on this way, boss. No, don't call me boss. I'm not your boss. You don't know me like that. It's sir or it's ma'am. Like, learn to have some respect. I don't know why that bugs the crap out of me. And so the reason I say that is because if I'm in my 40s and things that are generational are bugging me, can you imagine somebody that's in their 50s and 60s, right? So do the little things that you know that they value, like saying, I look forward to earning your business, right? It sets you apart. Nobody else is going to say that, okay? So that's all we've got for today. I'm going to stop